In this video, we're going to focus on assigning background color for every group we have in the tree map chart. So let's start to look, and this is part 14. So for example, here we have 1, 2, 3 different groups here. However, the color by default is set on a reddish pinkish color. So what I want to do now is, instead of this, I want to have 3 different colors for every group, or at least an individual color for each group. So how do we do this? So let's scroll down here, and then basically what we're going to work on is, let me scroll down here, it's on this one here. We have this functionality here. We're going to the background color. However, now I want to change that. Instead of assigning a single color, which is in here, let's scroll down here to search. That's this one here, and adjust this. To do this, we have to do some work here, because basically what we need to do is to make sure we count all these different items here, how many we have. Because you can see here we have chart 1, chart 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and then again 3. So we have only 3 items here. Because we have 3 items, we're going to work on these items. So what I'm going to do it quite easy for me on the colors, is by selecting these 3 colors here, which you can find on chartjs-chart-treemap.com. Getting started. This link is also in the description box, by the way. Just copy these 3 colors here, or any color you want, doesn't matter so much. So then what I will do is, I'm going to work from here, and I'm going to show you a way to work on this. So I'm going to put in here a very simple color array. So I'm going to say a constant, and this will be our color array. That's the only one I will do, like a hard-coded one, but you could make this soft-coded yourself, and you can just figure out exactly how to do that one. Basically, once we have 3 items, I'm going to show you exactly later on what we're going to do more. So what we have here, we have this code here, and you can see that's in here. Because we have this template literals, and this was from the second video in this series. If you don't understand what I did here, watch the second video. So we have the template literals here, and what I'm going to do then is just going to cut only this part and put that in here, make sure that this is a string value. Then comma, and then I'm going to grab this color here, and this is a string value, and then again cut out this comma string value. Alright, so we have this here, but as you can see we have this and that one here. So what are we going to do here? Well, basically our color array will be here, and this will be a $sign, put in here curly braces, put in this here, and then of course here an array with whatever the value is. I'm just going to put in an I here, or maybe index, but later on I'm going to assign a proper name to this. And the reason I'm doing only this here is because this part is here at the back, and here we have the alpha value. So we want to have the alpha value so that the color will be appropriate once it is in a smaller section here. Alright, so then we have this. So now we have the easiest part, and now let's start to go more advanced part. So I'm going to say here constant, and I'm going to give this the name of company array. And this array will be a blank array, and this array will help us to figure out here how many items we have. Because we have 3 items, I'm going to use that one here, but we could have 4 items, of course, then we have to add up here, or we do here random formula, but I will skip that one. I don't go too far in that one. I will show you this, because that's the most important one. This here is easier to figure out. So what I'm going to do here now is, and that's what we're going to do here is, let's see, we're going to start working on getting the colors. And because we have this here where it will first load, as I explained it in the second video, so I'm going to go down here and just say here console log, and we're just going to say here ctx, save that, or maybe even we have here this ctx.raw, I guess we could say here .raw as well. We need that one anyway. If I refresh this, oh, alright, so we get an error here. Let's see what's the error. Index is not defined, of course. Sorry, I'm not allowed to do this because we have no defined value yet. I just put it on 0 then. There you are. So it's still red. But if you see, if I put this now on 1, it changes the color to whatever the matching color is, in this case blue. So if I refresh, what I need now is, I need to go down here. And you can see here we have all of this. And then because of the groups, we have this data, or underscore data, and then here, because we have the groups, and we have now multiple groups, oh, let's go up here, sorry. Alright, so we lost that one, that's alright, I'll just click on this. We have here the multiple groups, now we have children, and these children are basically the values that we have based on whatever the group is, which is based here up. I will not hover over it or else we will lose again our console log information. So you can see here, when we hover over this children here, this is chartjs 1, refers to this group here. If I would hover here, do this one now, and then open up here, we should see here now chartjs number 2. This information for us is crucial. But of course, this is why I need the company array here. So I'm going to create the company array first. And then after we're going to watch this one. So I guess I went slightly ahead of myself. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say here, let's do a console log and let's start to look. I'll just comment out this ctx dot. And then what I'm going to say here is I need to go basically from ctx, because ctx is only the data here. I need to go basically back into the chart here. To do that, there's a nice trick for it, which is dot chart. The moment we do that, we're just going back to the chart object. And as you can see here now, if I click on this, we get all the information of the chart. So where do I want to go in this case is to the data, which is, if I go here, to the data here, data sets, and then we can go into the tree to get this specific area. So if I scroll down here, let's open up this. You can see here, and if I scroll down here, this is the data object here. Click on this object, then we go to data sets, and then you can see here we get all the information we need. So we go from data dot data sets index 0, because this is only the first index in here, and then we're going to search for tree. There we are, and then in the tree we have all these index numbers, but the tree is our ending point because we're going to do a for each loop. So I'm going to say here, scroll down, go in here, dot data as I indicated, then dot data sets index 0, because we only have one data set, and then we're going to say here dot tree. If I save this now, refresh, we get now the tree data points, which is all the data here. Alright, so now what I can do is a for each method. So maybe what I'm going to do here is going to remove this console log now, say a dot for each. Basically this would mean we will loop through every item in the tree, which is 7 specific items, but then what I want to do is every item, specifically the company object. That's what I want, or the namespace. So I'm going to say a for each, and then we can just say here data structures, you can call it, because basically this is a data structure. So every data structure, and this is the reason why data structures are so powerful, we can do so much with it. Then I'm going to say here a function arrow, or arrow function expression, because it's a callback. Enter. And then in here, all I want to do is I want to push the value that we get, which is this company value, into this array here, meaning we will get 7 items with redundant data. You might say, well, we don't need redundant data. That is correct. We need unique data that will come later on. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to say this, the array dot push, pushing a value within here. And what exactly do I want to push? Well, I want to have from the data structures, which is the shorthand for this, but then for every individual item, and then we say dot company. Doing this will push the value, and you will see now if I say here the company array, let's put that in here, save that, refresh. Alright, and now you can see here we get 7 items in our array. Beautiful, and they are all matching like that. So now what we have to do is we have to filter this array. So for the filtering, what we need here is basically I'm going to create a new constant, and this constant will be called unique company array. I'll just copy this one here and then make sure that this is a capitalized letter C. Then we say equal. And then what I'm going to do here is the following. I'm going to use here some shorthand and some tricks, which are ES6 tricks. So I'm going to say the array, so meaning we create a new array, and then we're going to here have a rest operator, which is basically triple dot. This is called the rest operator, which would mean to duplicate a specific array. What I'm going to duplicate this array, which has the 7 items in here, or say, oh sorry, not even yet. We're going to say here, first of all that, then say here new, we're going to set up this array, put in here like that. And what this really does is eventually it will loop through this, but also remove all the redundant items, which is a one-liner, saves us some time here. Alright, so now we have this here, and if I do now a console log, of unique company array, we should only have 3 items. Going to comment this out, save that, refresh. There we are, we get now only 3 items, and these are 1, 2, and 3, which is correct, as you can see here. Now we have this, and now we can start working on the final item, which was slightly when I was explaining it already, I went a bit ahead of myself at the time. So we're going to say here console log. And let's go again here to ctx. I'm going to say here dot raw, because what I'm going to do is an index of. We're going to grab the index of and then search for matching with the items here. So I'm going to refresh first. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So we are here already, which is the ctx.raw. All right, and then in here we want to go to underscore data. So I'm going to say here dot underscore data, save that, refresh. There we are. So now we're getting deeper, and then you can see here exactly which company we are in here, or which company this is matching, or under which group it is. That's the right term. Under which group it should be categorized. So I say here this dot refresh. Oh, there we are. Sorry, my clock. All right, sorry for the buzzer. So then we have this here. We have all of these numbers here. And then we have, now what we have to do here now is basically say within this, we're going to say copy this. I'm going to say here dot index of, and basically now I'm going to grab here this value, putting it in here. And if I do this, we can just say maybe here constant index company, let's say like that, because I'm not sure if I have anything with index in here, so I want to avoid that mistake or duplication. And I'm going to say here console.log index company, and then we can remove this one here. If I save this, we should get now an index. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 1, or whatever, or sorry, 0, 1, and 2. That is correct. If I would be hovering on this one, it should be, I guess, number 2. That's all right. And then here we should be number 1, and this is number 0, because chartjs 1 is considered the 0. So then we have that. What I'm going to do here, copy this, put it in here, save that, refresh. And there we are. And now I get the yellow, red, or blue, and red. Red was the number 1, remember. That's the first one here, red, blue, yellow, and there we are. Absolutely phenomenal. And let's see if we click on this, and what happens then. As you can see, it will change. This is supposed to be blue, but because of the values, it becomes very light. There we are. Of course, we probably have to remove this tree map here that has no real function for us, so let's do that one immediately as well. In the options, I'm going to say here plugins, and I'm going to say here, legend, and then I'm going to say here, display equals false. Save that, refresh. There we are. Absolutely beautiful. And that's how you do that.